Stop sitting around waiting for success to knock on your door. It's not going to happen. If you want to achieve greatness, you've got to force your mind to work for you. Success doesn't come by chance. It comes by developing a mindset that leaves no room for excuses. Are you ready to break through? Let's get to work. The road to success is paved with more than just talent. It's about mindset. In this video, I'll show you how to reprogram your mind, how to eliminate the self-doubt, and how to build the unshakable belief in yourself that will take you from where you are to where you want to be. No fluff, no nonsense, just results. Forget about motivation. Motivation is a temporary burst of energy that can get you started, but it doesn't last. The reality is, motivation is unreliable. Some days you'll feel inspired to tackle the world, but other days you won't even want to get out of bed. So if you rely on motivation to get you through, you're setting yourself up for failure. Motivation can be fleeting, but discipline is the constant force that will keep you going when everything else falls short. Discipline is the key to consistency, and consistency is what creates real results. Discipline is a muscle, and like any muscle, it gets stronger the more you use it. The more you push yourself to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it, the more natural it becomes. It becomes a part of who you are. Discipline doesn't ask for permission, doesn't wait for the right moment, doesn't care about your excuses, your setbacks, or how bad your day has been. Discipline requires you to show up no matter what. It requires you to put in the work even when the motivation is nowhere to be found. You need to develop a mentality that embraces this. You're not here to try to make things work. You're here to conquer, to build an unshakable foundation that will carry you through when life challenges you. You don't get to take breaks when things get tough. That's what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. The ones who succeed are the ones who keep pushing when everyone else has given up. There will be moments when your energy is low, your spirit is tired, and the road ahead seems too long. Those are the moments that will define you. It's easy to show up when you're motivated. It's easy to push when you're fired up. But the real test is how you show up when the fire has burned out, when you have nothing left but your resolve. That's when you prove who you really are. That's when your discipline takes over. Winners don't let their feelings dictate their actions. They've conditioned their minds and their bodies to act, regardless of their emotional state. When they wake up tired, they still get up. When they feel unmotivated, they still work. The drive to succeed is so deeply ingrained that they do it automatically, without hesitation. This is why discipline is non-negotiable. It's not something you turn on and off based on how you feel. It's a constant in your life. There are going to be days when you want to quit, when you feel like the world is against you, when everything seems like an uphill battle. But you need to remember this. Success doesn't come from the days you feel good. Success comes from the days when you push through despite your feelings, despite the obstacles, and despite the doubts. Discipline is what separates those who make it from those who don't. Quote, "It's what makes the difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who settle for mediocrity." So stop waiting for the right moment. Stop looking for the perfect set of circumstances to line up. Discipline is what creates those circumstances. It doesn't wait for the perfect day. It makes the day perfect by showing up, by grinding, by doing the work. Discipline doesn't give up, it doesn't settle for less, and it doesn't let anything stand in its way. If you want to succeed, if you want to build something that lasts, then you need to embrace relentless discipline. Don't just try to get by, conquer. That's the mindset that will carry you to victory. Failure is often viewed as a negative experience, something to avoid at all costs. But this mindset is what keeps so many people trapped in mediocrity. The truth is that failure is an essential part of success, an unavoidable and necessary stepping stone on the path to greatness. It's not the failure itself that determines your future. It's how you respond to it that counts. The moment you embrace failure as a valuable part of your journey, you'll begin to see it for what it truly is: a teacher, a guide, and a catalyst for growth. The most successful people in the world aren't the ones who never failed. They're the ones who failed the most, but also the ones who learned the most from their failures. Think about it. Every failure is an opportunity to refine your approach, to find out what doesn't work so you can discover what does. Every mistake teaches you something new, whether it's about the process, the people involved, or even your own limit. And when you're willing to learn from failure, you unlock the potential to improve, adapt, and eventually succeed at the highest levels. Fear of failure, however, keeps most people from even trying. It paralyzes them. It tells them they're not good enough, not smart enough, or not capable enough to succeed. But this is a lie. Fear of failure is just the voice of doubt, the voice of insecurity, and the voice of the comfortable, complacent life you're being pushed to settle for. That's not the life of a winner. Winners understand that failure doesn't define them, it refines them. It sharpens their focus, toughens their resolve, and builds resilience that nothing can break. The difference between those who achieve extraordinary success and those who don't isn't their lack of failure, it's their willingness to fail. The successful don't fear failure, they welcome it. They know that without failure, there's no growth. Without failure, there are no lessons. Without failure, there is no innovation, no breakthrough, no progress. So when failure happens, instead of running from it or letting it crush your spirit, stand up, face it, and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? In fact, the more comfortable you become with failure, the more you'll realize that it's not the end of the world, it's just a part of the process. Each time you fail, you get one step closer to success because you're learning something new. And with each failure, your resilience grows. You become stronger, more capable, and more determined to succeed. The fear of failure is only powerful if you let it be. When you face it head on, when you see it as a necessary tool for growth, it loses its power over you. Ultimately, the biggest mistake you can make is not trying at all because you're afraid of failure. If you let fear control your actions, you'll never take that first step toward greatness. You'll never push yourself past your limits. You'll never see what you're truly capable of. But if you take action despite the fear, if you move forward even when failure looms ahead, that's when you begin to unlock your potential. So get comfortable with failure, embrace it, learn from it, use it as fuel to push harder, try again, and come back even stronger. That's how success is built. There's a powerful truth that you need to understand. Excuses will never get you to where you want to be. The world isn't waiting for your reasons for why you didn't achieve what you said you would. When you come up with excuses, you're simply wasting time, energy, and opportunity. Successful people know that every second counts, and they don't have the luxury of giving in to excuses. Let's break it down. Excuses are nothing more than mental crutches. They provide temporary relief from the pressure of facing the truth. When you say, I didn't hit my goals because of this person, or I didn't have the resources I needed, what you're really doing is shifting the blame. You're allowing circumstances and external factors to control your actions. You're allowing life to dictate your outcomes rather than taking control of your destiny. That's not how winners think. Winners know that the only thing they control is their reaction. They might not be able to control the economy, the weather, or other people's actions, but they can control their own. And that's where you need to shift your mindset. Instead of pointing fingers or making excuses, you need to look in the mirror and take full responsibility for where you are in life. Let me be clear, responsibility isn't about feeling guilty or blaming yourself. It's about recognizing that everything you do, every decision you make, plays a role in shaping your life. You cannot afford to blame anyone else for your failures. No one forced you to make that choice, no one controlled your time, and no one made you act the way you did. You did. And until you own that, until you take full responsibility, you're not going to make the progress you need to. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be perfect. None of us are. But successful people understand that setbacks are a part of the process. Mistakes happen. But what separates the winners from the losers is the willingness to look at those mistakes, own them, learn from them, and then move forward, They don't dwell on what went wrong, they figure out how to make it right. And they don't waste time making excuses for why something. They focus on finding a solution and then executing it with everything they've got. It's time to ask yourself, what's your excuse? You're probably telling yourself that you don't have enough time, that things are too hard, that you don't have the right circumstances. But listen, everyone who's ever achieved anything significant faced challenges. Every single person who's ever climbed to the top of their field encountered obstacles. The difference is they didn't let those obstacles stop them. They used those challenges as fuel to push harder, to innovate, and to keep going even when the odds seem stacked against them. So stop making excuses. Start owning your actions. Take responsibility for your future. Yes, it's uncomfortable at first, but once you develop a no excuse mentality, your entire life will shift. You will begin to see yourself as the creator of your own success, as the one in control of your destiny. And when you adopt that mindset, you become unstoppable. Your potential becomes limitless and nothing will be able to stand in your way. You've got everything you need right now to start making progress. You just need to stop making excuses and start taking massive action. It's time to level up. No excuses, just results. Building unshakable self-belief is the cornerstone of every successful individual. Without belief in yourself, you have nothing to fall back on when the storms of life hit. It's not about being arrogant or thinking you're better than others. It's about understanding that your worth, your abilities, and your potential are unmatched. When you don't believe in yourself, you're giving away your power to external forces. You're looking for validation from people who are just as uncertain about their own futures as you are. But that's not the path to greatness. The key to success is realizing that the only person who can give you the validation you need is you. The journey to self-belief begins with acknowledging that you are the creator of your own story. You don't need permission to pursue your dreams, and you don't need anyone's approval to believe that you're capable of achieving them. The power of self-belief lies in taking full responsibility for your success. It's about realizing that your future is in your hands, not anyone else's. You must look in the mirror every day and say, I am enough. I am capable. I am worthy of success. These words have power. Words are the foundation of belief, and when you speak them over your life, they begin to take root in your mind, heart, and actions. When you develop an unbreakable self-belief, you become immune to the opinions of others. People will doubt you, they will question your abilities, your ideas, and your ambitions, but you won't be swayed by their negativity because you've already built an internal fortress of confidence. You understand that their doubts are reflections of their own insecurities, not your limitations. When you believe in yourself, you stop seeking external validation. Instead, you seek the affirmation that comes from knowing you are capable and that you are destined for greatness. It's easy to let self-doubt creep in, especially when things aren't going your way. Life has a way of testing your belief in yourself. Challenges will arise and setbacks will try to break your spirit. But this is when you need to lean into your self-belief the most. When you're facing adversity, remind yourself of your track record. Remind yourself of the obstacles you've already overcome, the battles you've already won. If you've made it this far, you can keep going. You are stronger than you think. True self-belief isn't just about being optimistic. It's about recognizing your worth and stepping into your full potential even when the road gets tough. It's about trusting that you have the resilience to weather any storm and the wisdom to make the right decisions. When you believe in yourself, you're no longer paralyzed by fear. Instead, you become a force that moves forward with power and conviction. Self-belief isn't something that happens overnight. It's a muscle you need to train every single day. Every small victory, every decision to push forward when it would be easier to quit, strengthens that belief. You need to eliminate the limiting beliefs that have been holding you back. Negative thoughts like, I'm not good enough, or I can't do this, must be replaced with thoughts like, I am capable of achieving anything I set my mind to, and my potential is limitless. When you start thinking this way, you break free from the chains of self-doubt, you become unstoppable. Because self-belief isn't just about saying the right things, It's about living them, breathing them, and making them a part of who you are. To build an unbreakable self-belief, you must also take action. Confidence doesn't come from sitting around and waiting for things to happen. It comes from doing the work, learning from your failures, and proving to yourself that you can accomplish anything. Each step you take, no matter how small, builds momentum. With every challenge you face and conquer, your belief in yourself becomes stronger. Don't wait for external circumstances to change. Change yourself first. When you do, you will see the world around you transform as well. When you truly believe in yourself, you unlock a level of power that no one can take away from you. Your success is inevitable. Success isn't just about accumulating wealth or achieving personal accolades. It's about making a lasting impact. Every step you take toward your goal should be a step towards something greater than yourself. If your mindset is solely focused on what you can gain, on your own status, comfort, or desires, you'll find that success lacks the depth and meaning that could truly fulfill you. True success is found in the ability to serve, to leave behind a legacy that inspires others to take action and reach new heights. When you shift your thinking from a me-first mentality to one that prioritizes others, you begin to unlock the potential for greatness that goes beyond any personal achievement. This shift requires you to step outside your comfort zone, beyond the limitations of your own ego and immediate needs. It's easy to get caught up in the daily grind, consumed by the pressures and challenges of our own lives. But when you focus only on your own success, you miss the bigger picture. Think about the impact you can have on your community, your family, your industry, and the world. Success isn't just about reaching the top, it's about who you help along the way. Think about the leaders, entrepreneurs, and change makers who've achieved extraordinary things throughout history. The most influential figures didn't simply build wealth or recognition for themselves. They created movements, transformed lives, and left behind legacies that continue to inspire long after they're gone. They built something that transcended their own existence. This kind of success is about understanding your role in a larger narrative, where your actions ripple out to create waves of change far beyond what you could have imagined on your own. When you start thinking beyond yourself, you begin to realize that your success is interconnected with the success of others. No one achieves greatness alone. Every breakthrough, every achievement, every victory is built on the shoulders of others, whether it's mentors, family, or communities that support you. The more you think beyond your own needs, the more you become a beacon for others, empowering them to rise to their own potential. Your actions have the power to ignite the spark in others, to encourage them to pursue their dreams and overcome obstacles. That's the true power of success, not how much you gain, but how much you inspire others to achieve. By focusing on giving rather than getting, you begin to see that success becomes less about a destination and more about the journey. The people you impact, the relationships you build, and the values you impart. Thinking bigger isn't just a call for expansion in terms of money or career success. It's about growing your influence, your character, and your purpose. It's about creating a world that's better for having had you in it. Think about what kind of mark you want to leave. If today were your last, what would you want others to remember about you? Was it your wealth or status? Or was it the way you elevated others, the way you inspired those around you to become the best version of themselves? True success isn't measured by what you accumulate. It's measured by the lives you've changed, the barriers you've broken, and the legacy you've left behind. If you want to make an impact that outlasts you, you have to think bigger than yourself. Look beyond the immediate rewards and think long-term about the kind of change you can bring into the world. Understand that success is not an isolated journey. It's a collective experience, one that thrives on generosity, impact, and vision. So ask yourself, what kind of world will your success create? What will you leave behind? Think beyond your own comfort and legacy and realize that the true power of success lies in how much you give and how many lives you touch along the way. Now you've got the blueprint, the mindset for success that will propel you forward. But it's up to you to implement it. Stop making excuses, get disciplined, fail forward, believe in your own potential, think bigger, and take massive action. Your future is waiting for you, but only if you're willing to put in the work. The question is, Are you ready to rise to the challenge? Let's make it happen.